Hello dears, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Oluchi. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can make this palazzo trouser. This is a free size palazzo trouser. You can see it's loosely fitted. It's not exactly too tight on your body. So following the same steps, if you want to make it too tight, you're free to do that. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoy watching my videos. Please share, like, comment, anything, so that YouTube is going to keep pushing up my videos out there. So guys, let's get right into this.
For me, these are my own measurements. So we have the waist, the hip line, the thigh measurement, the trouser length, the knee, and the ankle. So like I said, we're drafting a basic pencil trouser, but from there we're going to be modifying it into a palazzo trouser because I want to make a palazzo trouser. So this is my pattern paper here, is already laid here. This is the fabric that we're going to be working with. This is a 2 yards of, okay, sorry, this is 2.5 yards of cotton like fabric. Then this is my ruler, the marker that I'm going to be using to drafting here. Of course, I have my pins here, right? So I have my pins and I have my chalk. Definitely I'll be needing my chalk and my pin and my tape. Here is a curve. I'll actually be needing, you'll see when I'm going to need this curve. I need this curve, and then we have this our scissors. So let us begin. So first things first, I'm going to be marking out 1/2 inch on the top part. Okay, so I'm just going to be marking 1/2 inch or 1 inch on the top parts. Okay, so just mark this out. This is very, very necessary. Then next, I'm going to be deciding the amount of allowance that I want. So I am marking my allowance on this side. I want 2 inches side allowance. This part that is facing me is usually the side part of a trouser, right? So you mark out 2 inches, which I'm going to rule and connect into a straight line. All right, so this is our 2 inches allowance, is actually facing me, 2 inches side allowance. So this is our top line. This is going to be our top line. Then we're going to start inserting all the other necessary measurements. Now, to get your crotch depth, you'll be dividing your hip by 4. So we're working with a 37 hip. So 37 divided by 4. So we have 9.25. Which I'll go ahead to mark. I'll mark my 9.25 here, okay? Now, because I want this as a high-waisted trouser, all right? I want this as a high-waisted trouser. I'm going to be adding something to that 9.25, but if I just want it like, you know, my normal basic trouser, I'm just going to leave it at 9.25. So let's do it at 9.25. I'm going to do the extension on my fabric, okay? So 9.25. I'm going to go ahead and I'll mark it here. Which I'm going to be extending into a straight line. Then I'm going to derive my length. So from the top line, I'm deriving my length. The length that I'm working with is 40 inches. That is to my ankle. Waist to ankle is 40 inches. Okay, now waist to floor. What I usually do, because this is going to be a palazzo, then I'm just going to go ahead and I will add 5 more inches to it. Okay, then plus our allowance for stitching this, and I want to do 1.5 inches allowance for stitching my trouser on the down part. Now for this palazzo length, you can go as much as 7 inches, so this is absolutely your choice. So here are the lines that I'm working with. Next, I'm going to get my knee. So from my hip line here all the way to my ankle, I'm going to be fold my tape measure into 2, right? I'm trying to get my knee. I'll fold it into 2, then on that you see that little point, then on that point I'm going up by 2 inches. Okay, 2 inches, so I will extend it into a very straight line. So I'm going to go ahead and label this and explain it again. Okay, so this is my hem, right? So here is my hem, this is my ankle, here is my ankle, this is my knee, this is my crotch, and then this is my waistline. Here is my waistline, which we can also refer to as the top line. So here is my waist. Okay, now I put this palazzo part because we're going to later extend this into a palazzo, but first we're going to be drafting as a basic trouser before we can extend into a palazzo. Now once we're done doing that, now we're going to start to insert all the necessary lines, but before then we need to derive our hip line. Now how do we derive our hip line? From this crotch line here, you are going to go up by 2 inches, or you can mark from here, you mark your hip line. So my hip line, mine is suitable, mine is 8 inches, right? It's not up to 2 inches. So once it's not up to 2 inches, so what you're going to do is to just then go up from this point, okay, and go up 2 inches. All right, so I'm going up 2 inches, but if it's up to 2 inches, then you just mark from your waist to your hip. So I've extended the line right now, and then this is our hip line. So like we'll just use and this is now our hip line. All right, after you've gotten all your lines, that's when you're going to do this one. So now we're going to start the actual measurement drafting of this trouser. Now on your crotch line, right, crotch line, remember your crotch line is your hip divided by 4. So on your crotch line, divide your thigh into 2 places. My thigh is 23, I'll divide by 2, which is 11.5, and I'm going to be inserting it on this line. My thigh divided by 2, 11.5, I'm inserting it on this line. Okay, on your crotch line, divide thigh by 2 and insert half of it here, 11.5. Okay, now on the same crotch line, divide hip by 4 and insert again. My hip divided by 4 is 9.25, so I'm going ahead to insert here. All right, now what you have here for your hip line, you're going to be carrying it up here. Remember that every measurement that I'm measuring now is coming from this very line that we have here, this line. So we'll carry it up. We have 9.25, so we're carrying 9.25 to the waist. All right, so when we've done that, you will be connecting this into a straight line. Okay, you connect it into a straight line, And then you will be marking 1/2 inch inwards. Now this 1/2 inch you are marking is to take out any form of, like make your front area very flat. All right, so you will mark that, and then you are going to be connecting from that crotch line to that 1/2 inch. So you have like a slanted line here. Okay, so this is out. We're not going to this. We don't longer need this line here. All right, anyway you see me marking this, it means that, okay, so this is now our new line for the waist. So next again, what we're going to do is we are now going to be inserting the waist measurement. Remember our waist is 27. So when we divide 27 divided by 4, we have 6.75, which we're going to be inserting on our waist. Now remember, for our hip, we inserted coming towards this way. But for our waist, we are inserting from here towards this way, like this, okay? From this 1/2 inch, we went in by inserting towards this way. So 27 divided by 4, we have 6.75. So from here, 6.75, I'll be marking 6.75 for my waist, all right? So once I was done doing that, I'm going to be connecting from this waist into my crotch line using my curved ruler. Can you see? So we're connecting waist to the hip all the way like so. So this is what we have. I think we should then keep this. Guys, remember I said for the waist, we are inserting the measurement. We're coming from this end now, 1 inch here on this end to this part, okay? On this end, from here to here. So we divided our waist by 4, 6.75, and we have inserted it. So now we're going to come and work on this area here. So first, I have this ruler, right? I have this ruler. You can see if you have this ruler, you have something like this. It's called an angle 45, or this one. You can just you place it like this, okay? The idea there is just for these two things to be on this line, like match it like so. Just to help you derive the center point of this, you can see. Even if you don't have, you can just place your ruler like this and make sure you get a straight line accurately. So now I've done that, so I'm marking, this straight line here. I'm marking this line here. So after I'm done doing that, I'm going to come here now, and I'm going to be going up by 0.75 or 1/2 inch, okay? Because don't make it too, the deeper it is, the more it is easy for it to be flat on the front area. You can even do as much as 1/2. So I'm going to be marking 1/2 inch here, or 0.75 depending. So here I'm going to actually just connect this line. So I'm going to connect from this other side. I'm using my curve, right? So I'm connecting from here to here, and then I'm connecting from here into my 1/2 inch. So I could work with a straight line like so. No, let's work with our curve. We're connecting it in a curved line into, okay, so this is what we have. Let's smoothen that place out. Okay, so we've connected it into that place. I hope we understand. So the moment you've done that, now we're going to derive, before we can insert our knee and our ankle measurements, we're going to be deriving the center point of our trouser. So from here to this point, that's your thigh measurement, which is 11.5. So you will divide it into to like get the center point of your 11.5. Okay, so this is the center point of our trouser. So let's check what we have here. We have 5.75. So you bring the same 5.75 to this point. You bring the same 5.75 to this point, and the same 5.75 to the down part. Okay, please follow me, do not get confused. The same 5.75 from this line also you measure your 5.75. So I'm going to just like broken lines. I don't want to really make a full line. So just do like a broken line. You can make yours a full line, no, there's no problem, but I just want to, for the sake of this tutorial, so that we don't get confused on the lines that we need. So I need this to be a little different from the other lines that we're using. This is just an indication of where the center part of our trouser falls, right? So here, these broken lines are our center line for the trouser. So now, next thing we're going to do now to insert our knee, right? Our knee measurement here is 16, okay? Now, you are going to be dividing 16 by 4. Remember that this is still the front part of our pants, right? We're still working on the front part. We're still going to do the back part of it. This is the front part of our trouser. So, we've gotten the center point of our tie, like, you know, that is like the center point of our front leg. What we're going to do is we'll divide, first of all, our tie is 16. We'll divide it by 2. We have 8, okay? Now, that 8 inches, we are going to divide it by another 2. You know, when we have 16 divided by 2, that is 8 inches. That's one part of the 16 is going to be for the back knee, all right? And then the other one is for the front knee. So that's 8 for the front. We're going to be dividing into, it into 2 places, and we'll insert half of it here and half of it here. Okay, so half here and half here. This automatically means that we divided our round knee measurement by 4 inches. So we're inserting half here, quarter here, and then the other one is going to be for the back. So this is what it is. We inserted 4 inches and we inserted 4 inches, okay? So once we're done doing that, next we will come on the ankle. The same thing we did. Our ankle measurement is 13 inches. 4. We have 3.25, okay? Still the same thing. We have 3.25. So we insert 3.25 here. And another 3.25 here. All right. So we're going to be going ahead now to like connect all of these lines together. So we'll connect from here to here, from here to this point, from here to here, and from here to that point. Okay. So from here to here, using our straight parts, the straight part of our ruler, right, guys? So using the straight part of our ruler, and then working with our curve. You see the way I kept it? Or you can go ahead and use this curved ruler. Use your hip curve. You will now connect from here into this crotch measurement. Okay, this is what we're connecting. We're connecting from here into the crotch measurement. All right, so we'll come also here with using our straight ruler from here to here, straight part of our ruler, and then our curve, this curved part of our ruler will be, you know, facing inside. You know, at this side it was facing outside, but here is also facing inside, because you don't want that place entirely straight. So here we have our trouser ready. Next, we'll just come on the waist here and go up by 1/2 inch. Okay, extend it upwards and connect using your curve. Connect into the waistline, like so. This gives it a firm, gives it some sort of firmness on your waist area. All right, so this is our trouser, you know, just our basics. Then we now go ahead and we're going to be adding the allowance that we need for this. So I'm going to be working with for my waist. I'm going to be working with 1.5 inch allowance. So I'm also going to mark that 1.5 inch. I marked 1.5 inch for my waist. I marked 1.5 inch for my hip, but I'm going to be marking 1 inch on my knee area and also 1 inch for my ankle. And I will go ahead and connect the lines together, leaving our ruler just the same way we kept it before. Let's extend this line into this place. Okay, then we'll use our curve. So we'll have to extend this our line, right? So this is what our basic front trouser, this is the front. Basic front trouser, right? This is what our basic front trouser looks like. Now guys, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to be modifying this now into a palazzo trouser. Okay, this is our basic front trouser, what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll modify this into a palazzo. Then now for our palazzo, it is now you that will decide where you want your flare to begin, right? For me, I want this to, you know, like give me some sort of a little fit around this place, maybe coming towards like 3 inches or 2 inches before it will flare out. You can do as much as 4 inches. You can even start your flare on the knee. This is absolutely your choice, all right? And you can also, there are also palazzos that start from the hip. I think that's the one I'm going to do. I'm going to do the one that starts from the hip area. Okay, so for this one that starts from the hip area, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come down by 1/2 inch. All right, so 1/2 inch. This is, we're coming down here by 1/2 inch, right? So 1/2 inch, then I will decide how wide I want this to be. So let's extend this line to that point. Okay, let's extend this line to that point. So I'm going to be deciding how wide I want this to be, and guys, I don't really want it too wide, so I will just make do with adding 3 inches on both ends of this trouser, because I don't want it so big. So I'm going to go ahead and do 3 inches on both ends of my trouser. You can do more if you want. You can do more if you want. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring a longer ruler. So let's connect this. So we'll connect from here. I'm going to be connecting it into the 1/2 inch. And from here, I'm also going to come down here by 1/2. Right? And also from here, all the way into my 1/2 inch. So I want to bring in a longer ruler. So I'm connecting from here into that point. Okay. Can you see what we have here? Then we're also connecting from here all the way down. So we connect from here. All right, so this is what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it. So in case if you want it as a basic trouser, you just, you go ahead and you cut out from here and then to this point. But if you want it as a palazzo like I do, I really don't want a pencil trouser. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut it as my palazzo. So I'm bringing in my scissors at this point. Cut, cut, cut. And then here. So, oh my God. I don't add that to my child for I mean, that's back. That's easy to like better. I don't need that because that's area. Not like that on my lower garments. So guys, here is our front basic trouser. This is what we have. So we're going to use this and then go ahead and draft the back. We're going to use it to draft the back now. So let's. Okay guys, this is our pattern paper and this is our the front bodice, and this here is the black body. So we're going to be placing this like this. While placing it, just leave out like a few inches on this side, like 2 inches, you know, thereabouts. Just place. You just place, and I'll just go ahead and pin this onto this. Remember I said just leave out like a few inches allowance here. You'll find out why we need that. It's like 2 inches. Once we've done that, next we're going to be extending these lines. We're going to be extending all of these lines. All the lines here, we'll be extending it. Okay. So we extend this one this side. Now the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be extending this place by 2. From here, we'll be extending first of all by 2. Okay, we're done pinning this and we've extended our lines. Extended our line here. Then here, from this point, you're just going to be extending by, you mark 2 inches. I don't know, I think I should use a different color of tape. Sorry, a different color of marker so that you guys will just be understanding me sharply. So let me use a different color of marker. So 2, you extend by 2 here. On the tie, what I'm doing on this palazzo, okay, you can still do the same thing if you are working with just the basic pencil trouser. All right, now remember, if you were working with a basic pencil trouser, we would have just cut it like this, and like this. Okay, so it's still the same thing you would have done. So here I extended by 2 inches. Here I extended by 1.5, and on the down part you will extend by 1 inch. Okay, 2 inches, 1.5, 1 and 1. So go ahead and just connect the lines like we've been doing. So get your ruler, place, extend. All right, so all right, so after you are done doing that, now on this point, remember this is the center point when we measured. So this was the center point, the crease line on the center. So on that point now, you'll be dividing what you have here by 2. I have 3 inches here, so I'll divide by 2. That's 1.5. Okay, I said what you have from here to here, you divide it into 2. I have 1.5, which I've marked on this point. So that point we have marked it, then what you have, this extension you had, this from this point to here, you will measure it 2.5. So I'm going to be going up here I'll just take out half inch from it and I will go up here. So whatever you get here, you take out half from it and you go up. Now I want to point something out. In case that for some persons, if you're making for a plus size and then you have maybe almost like 4 inches here, please just go ahead and take out 1 and let it be 3. That anything that is more than 3 inches, then leave it at 3 inches. But if it's less than, maybe you got 2 inches here, just go ahead and take out half and insert here. Or you got 3 inches, go ahead and take out half, insert 2.5. Or you got 2.5, you take out half and insert. Do you understand like what I've done? So this is what I'm doing. So I'm going to just, so this is it here, okay? We were bringing it up here. So I'm going to just measure the remaining part of my waist. Remember we have 6.75. So this is 6.75 here. 6.75 plus the number of allowance that we added for the front. Okay, we still need that allowance at the back. So this is at 6.75. So plus the number of allowance we added for this thing. So we have 8.25 here, right? So that 8.25 from here, you will insert 8.25. So here is my 8.25, okay? Plus 1 inch for my back that allowance, all right? I said what you have here, including all the allowance, 8 inches, carry it from here, insert it here, 8.25 inches, sorry, and then plus 1 inch, all right? Then you bring in your ruler, you can just use your straight ruler at this point and mark it. Now, this is why I said you should leave out some allowance by the side. Like so, okay? So we just have this. You connect it back into this place. So once we're done doing that, the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to extend out this line. Extend it out like this. So we'll just move this away. We'll move this away, okay? Using your straight ruler from this point where you have the shaping, connect to this place. Straight ruler, please. From this point, connect to this place. And then using a curve, you connect here, but then you'll be going down here by half. So let's move this a little bit away. I need a guide, so I'm going to just mark this as my guide. But I'm going to go like ½ inch over it. This is a very tactical part. You have to be very, very careful. Keep placing your curves until you really get it. Okay, so I think this is perfect. What I have here is okay, so I'm going to just, right? Okay, see what I have. So I went down here by half and I'm connecting it back into that other place. You see, it's like a little bit higher than this line here. That's why I marked this. So the moment you have done that, this other part, you'll be extending it into, a straight line into this place. So this is it. So let me just trace this out so that we can see what this looks like. I'm going to just go ahead and trace it out. I will just cut this. So once you cut it, you just transfer it into your fabric and that is it. So this is what it looks like. Then for our back darts, this is what we're going to be drafting on our fabric. I want to use a back zip. If you also want to use a side zip, it's absolutely okay. So here, from this point, I'm going to be marking. I'm using a 1/2 inch to add my darts, just half. So I'm going to be doing my darts. So my dart is 4 inches. So I'm going to be doing 4.5. That's plus my dart allowance. Then for my back, the length of my dart is going to be 5 inches. So I will just connect this, like, you know, place my ruler straight, get a straight line. Then half, I'm opening up half on each side of this my dart, and y'all know how these things work already. So this is what you're going to sew on your fabric. So we're going to bring in So this is what we're going to have. So the next thing we're going to do now is to go ahead and just cut it on our fabric and also cut the band. We're going to cut the band when we're cutting the fabric, right? Let's see what this really looks like. Yeah, it is. So this is our front and back, and that's it. Thank you, guys.
If you watched until this moment, thank you so much. The next video that is going to come up on the channel is going to be the sewing tutorial of this pant. Guys, please don't leave without subscribing to my channel. Please hit that subscribe button. Also give me a thumbs up, like, share my videos, comment, so that YouTube is going to keep pushing up my videos for others to see it. So if you've always been a part of this channel, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. What you do encourages me a lot. If you're joining us for the first time, you are welcome to the family, and we hope to keep seeing you here more and more. All right, guys, thank you. I love you. Bye.